Hello everyone, welcome to another vlog. We are in Essex today, not so far from Cambridge, but we are in Audley House in England. So this is supposed to be really monumental and one of the most picturesque buildings that you can find in England. It's a mansion which we are going to explore. So Sayari will tell more about it
later.
So the Audley House has a long-spanning history from 1100. So it has been a monastery back then. So the King Henry VIII has demolished that establishment and then basically built this house, which was originally a palace, which was 3 times the size of what it is today. And then afterwards, through Georgian era, through Victorian era, this has stood the test of time. There has been amendments, so the lower grounds are mostly Georgian, whereas when you go to the upper floors, it's more Victorian style architecture that you find here because it has been modified over the times. So it's a really interesting place, not so far from London. It would take about maybe an hour or two to come all the way from London, but for us it took only about 55 minutes, less than that actually. So it's a good day out place that you can explore around London. Hello. This has been in the mid-19th century home to Richard Neville, who is the Baron Braybrook, and his wife Jane, and their 8 children. So this house pretty much shows the daily life of Richard Neville.
Right now we are in the Great Hall of Audley House. This has been quite important place. They have whole dinners, dances in this hall, and this is the first room a guest enter after entering from the main door. This is filled with all artworks and craftings. So this must have made quite a big impression on all the guests because it's quite extravagant in a way.
There's a lot of wooden carvings around this area, and there are marble sculptures, which is great. So it's a really grand entrance to the whole house, we felt. So it's an interesting place.
Yeah, and in 1846, Richard has married a lady called Charlotte Graham, and for their marriage there had been a dinner in this same hall we are standing in.
And also back in the days, there used to be cricket in these fields, and then they used to have luncheons in this great hall as well.
So two of the brothers in this family has gone to war. When they were in the war, they have sent letters to the family. So those letters are printed in a book. Now if you come here, this is like a socializing room. So in this room you can see those printed letters, and these are apparently belongings of them.
Also, another interesting fact is it has about 2,000 plus paintings and about 5,000 plus books in this building. So we have now come to the dining hall of this mansion.
Šiais laikais 50,000 tai pinigai 600 ir beveik 700 svarų. Šiais laikais galima tai čia žmonės kaip iš antro.
Ir tai nevalgyti pažiūrėjau.
Fourth, Lord of Braybrook had a really keen interest on natural history, and also archaeology as well. So what he did was he has actually built a room full of stuffed birds and animals for his entertainment. So this is that room. So it has a lot of stuffed birds over here, and which includes the heaviest flying bird that has been discovered in the history.
Hakuna Matata, again we got in it.
Hakuna Matata, sembra quasi poesia. Hakuna Matata.
And this is the Lady Braybrook's sitting room.
The bedroom is right next to the Lady Braybrook's sitting room. She has used the room next to her bedroom as an informal space to manage household chores and write letters.
So this is the Braybrook's dressing room, which is right next to the bedroom. So this is the guest suite of the Audley End house, and this is also the most expensive bed here, which was made to receive the king and the queen at that time as special guests of this mansion. So this is an interesting one. So this particular bell is connected to Lady Braybrook's sitting room. Made to preserve that. Braybrookes have loved three things in their pastime. One is cricket, and then whist, and then they also love to travel quite a lot. So this room resembles some of the memorabilia from their time in cricket. There are bats, old bats, and some gear.
Apparently, this has been one of her sister's rooms, Lucy. This was recreated by using a watercolor painting which was done by Mirabel, Lucy's sister.
So in this mansion of Lord Braybrookes, there's also a chapel inside it, and this is that chapel which actually looks like a real chapel on its own that you see outside, but it's a really beautiful one and quite big as well to be a chapel in
Inside the
a
house.
mansion. So this is the whole gallery of the mansion. So as you can see, it's a gallery which is full of coal, which is used to heat up this establishment. So these are the Adam rooms. So Adam rooms is named after one of the architects in the Georgian era, who was very famous back then, and he has personally designed these rooms for the Audley Inn house. So this is another section of the taxidermy collection of the Braybrookes. So this is the dry laundry and the wet laundry of the Audley Inn house.
This Audley End House initially has been a monastery of Roman Catholics, and King Henry VIII, the same person who started Trinity College, has given this monastery after abolishing it to one of his chancellors, who's called Thomas. And from then onwards, he has converted this into a castle, and by generation, this has somehow become a family home. The house you see now is actually 1/3 of the original size of the castle which was built back in the days.
Now entering the backyard gardens of the Audley End house. So we are actually traveling in autumn, so you don't see much of flowers around here. However, I believe during summer it's going to be something really beautiful. But it is what it is during this season. There's another interesting story which is around the Audley End house. So during the World War, it has been a stealth mode training grounds for the Polish troops who were planning their next move against the Germans. So in this house there was troops organizing themselves and getting ready to fight the war. It was a great hiding spot because near to this property there are good airfields, and also there's plenty of grounds around here to basically train. And on the other side, it was one of those places that Germans would have never even imagined that it is a training ground. So it was a great place to hide and plan their next steps. So to commemorate some of those lost lives during the World War, they also have a memorial near the house. Alright, so that's it for this vlog. So we explored one of the most iconic mansions in the whole of England, which dates back to 1100 AD. So it's a really historic place and a really beautiful one, which has lived through the test of time, through many eras, starting from the era of King Henry VIII, and even predates that as well, and the Georgian era, the Victorian era, and to the modern times as well.